The phone buzzed at 2 a.m, one tiny chime, a map of obligation lighting up my dark. One transfer sounds like help. 2 sound like a life you didn't choose. I stared at the notification until the room blurred. Screenshot receipts. A message that said simply, "Can you help?" I felt my chest fold. That ping smelled like duty and shame and love all at once. If you're listening and you feel that sudden tightening in your throat, if someone you love asks for help at a time you can barely breathe, you are not alone. This episode is for the men who send money home, who carry other households in their pockets, who balance safety, culture, and a partner across the kitchen table. Welcome back to S&J Pride. I'm Samnang Bradley, storyteller, and the man who once made a transfer at 2 a.m. because I couldn't sleep until I knew someone I loved would eat. James is here too. He'll step in later, because this is our story and our tools. Today, how remittances can become love, duty, secrecy, and how we made space for both family and partnership without erasing dignity.
I'm James. If you're a listener thinking, this hits too close to home, I hear you. This show is for anyone juggling support across borders and the messy, tender work of keeping a relationship intact while you support the people you came from.
Why remittances matter. First, the obvious. Money keeps people fed, housed, clothed. But there's a quieter currency at play. Expectation. In many cultures, sending money is love language, social duty, and a measure of worth. It arrives as gratitude and as demand. It can be asked for with tenderness or with the weight of history. And when that request meets a partner, your partner, things get complicated fast. I want to walk you through 3 moments that still live in my bones. The whispered 2 a.m. request, the day James found a hidden transfer and the hollow it created, and the late-night budget meeting where we chose a pact over a fight. These are scenes, not lectures, because you deserve story and tools together. Scene 1. 2 a.m. The apartment is dark. The city is sleeping, and my phone lights like an altar. The message said it was urgent. The name at the top is my cousin. I remember the taste of guilt, metallic, the way my palms went clammy. I transferred without thinking, not because I had to, but because I felt failure in the delay. I told myself, this is what family does. I told myself, it's only once. But here's the thing. Helping became a habit before we even talked about it. That habit sat like a secret between me and my bank app. Scene 2. Months later, James noticed a transfer on a shared statement. He came to me after dinner, the air between us already thin. He asked quietly, "Did you send the extra money last week?" I remember the way his voice shook, less anger, more hurt. I tried to explain in fragments. He saw the receipts, and somewhere in the middle of my explanation, I watched trust, the shape of it, wobble. I was a mess. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was protecting people. I didn't notice I was hiding from the person who shared a life with me.
I remember that night. I didn't want to make it a showdown. What I felt was small, like being left out of a conversation that mattered. I remember thinking, if we can't be honest about money, what else are we hiding? After 11 years, silence about something this big hits like a crack in the foundation. That hurt more than the money itself.
And scene 3. Instead of letting that crack spread, we sat down. It was late. We made coffee, and we made a list. We both spoke, one at a time, about fear, loyalty, perception, safety. James said what he needed, transparency. I said what I needed, dignity for my family, who would have been dangerous to expose. We didn't solve everything that night, but we made a small agreement. No more secrets that could hurt us. That was the turning point. An awkward, beautiful little pact.
From where I sit now, what mattered was the way we listened. Not just the words, how we listened to why those words were there. I learned that cultural duty didn't mean he loved me less. What I learned was to ask questions that opened rather than closed. Tell me what that support looks like, instead of, why didn't you tell me? That change, softening the question, made all the difference.
Okay, now the part you can use. I'm going to give you 3 dignity-first scripts you can try. Take them, test them privately, adapt them. These aren't magic words. They are invitations to honest, safety-aware conversation. Script 1. The preface. How to explain obligation calmly. Try something like, I want you to know where this request is coming from. In my family, supporting each other is how we show love. I'm not asking you to sacrifice, just to understand this pressure. Can I explain what this means for me? Say it quietly, steady, as if you're handing someone a map.
That preface gives your partner context before they react. It's not a defense, it's a way of inviting them in. From there, the conversation can be, here are the limits I can hold, rather than, I need you to accept this. That shift keeps dignity on both sides.
Script 2. The boundary. How to refuse without shame. Use, I love my family and I want to help, but I also want to protect my relationship and our future. I can offer X this month, and here's why anything more would put our stability at risk. You're naming the limit and the value, stability, so the no lands as care, not rejection.
Boundaries are love when we name the need behind them. Say the why. It reduces shame. And remember, refusing doesn't make you unloving. It makes you responsible inside the life you're building together.
Some things I support quietly because revealing them would put people at risk. I'm open to a privacy plan so you won't be surprised. Can we agree on a verification method that keeps people safe and keeps us connected? Offer verification options, receipts, escrow account, or a trusted intermediary. That way, secrecy doesn't become betrayal.
Verification is not about surveillance, it's about reassurance. A simple habit like share a receipt within 48 hours or monthly summary on the first Sunday turns anxiety into rhythm. Consistency builds trust faster than explanations alone.
Next, a shared remittance checklist, my short list of low-friction rules we actually used. 1. Set caps and frequency. Decide a monthly cap and whether emergency transfers are separate. 2. Emergency-only rules. Define what counts as emergency. Medical, eviction, passport. 3. Verification best practices. Use official channels only. Ask for written receipts. Screenshot confirmations. And store them in a private folder labeled with a neutral name. 4. A receipts habit. Share proof in the agreed way. 5. Safe record keeping for closets. Use encrypted notes or a dedicated email only you and your partner can access, or an intermediary if needed.
We called ours caps and checks. We decided what emergency looked like and stuck to it for 30 days. That trial gave us something concrete to evaluate. Less mystery, fewer late-night panics. If you can make rules for other parts of adult life, you can make rules for this.
Now, the Allowance Pact template, keep this non-legal and gentle. Page 1, Roles and Principles, how we define support, privacy, and partnership. Page 2, Operational bits, monthly cap, emergency criteria, verification steps, a review rhythm. We recommend a 30-day trial, and a neutral escrow option if you want a third party to manage transfers for a while. Try it for 30 days, treat it like an experiment, and agree to a calm debrief at the end. If it works, keep refining it. If it doesn't, you've practiced a way to talk about money without blame. We included one small reversal option. If either of us felt unsafe or unheard, we could pause the agreement for a week and bring in a trusted friend or counselor. That was important, an agreed timeout, so the pact didn't become a new weapon. 1 week experiment. Pick one small transparency move this week. Options: share a single receipt for a transfer you made, schedule a 10-minute money check-in, or set a temporary monthly cap and tell your partner you're testing it. Journal how it felt. Did you feel lighter, more exposed, angry, proud? Then schedule a 20-minute debrief where both people share one thing they learned and one thing they need next.
If you try this, remember the point is connection, not victory. The experiment is evidence gathering. What helps trust, what harms it. Keep notes. Be curious. Ask, how did this change your sense of safety this week? That question alone shifts the tone from accusation to exploration.
If you're carrying remittances right now and you feel guilt, listen to me. Your care is not shameful. The hard part is that cultural obligation often comes with pressure that isn't yours to carry alone. You are allowed to protect your partner and yourself. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to make rules that keep your home stable. You are not betraying your culture by asking for help in managing it.
And to the partner who feels left out, your feelings are valid. Ask for clarity. Ask to see the map. Say, help me understand what this looks like month to month. Practice a small verification rule that respects safety. You can hold compassion for family and still hold clear boundaries in your relationship.
Gentle professional reminder: we're not financial or legal advisors. If transfers involve immigration risk, tax implications, or legal exposure, please consult an LGBTQ+ affirming immigration attorney, tax advisor, or community financial counselor. In the episode notes, we'll include vetted resources and community organizations that can help with high-stakes cases. We want this to be useful, so here's a small ask. DM or comment "I hear you" and tell us one remittance rule you're willing to try this week. Maybe a cap, a receipt share, or a 10-minute check-in. If you're not comfortable sharing details, just drop "I hear you" so we know you're here. We read every message. We believe you.
We'll keep the conversation going on social. If you want privacy, use the anonymous voicemail link in the notes and tell us a tiny money win. We may share themes on a future episode. Always anonymized, always with consent.
Thank you for sitting with this with us. If you took anything away, one script, one checklist item, one small experiment, take a breath. You're doing hard things. You're carrying love across borders and trying to keep the person beside you from breaking under the load. That's the truth of it. We keep choosing each other, and that is what matters.
We see you. We hear you. If we can do this, if we can name the hard things and build a little structure around them, you can too. Keep going. You've got this.
You're not alone. This is SNJ Pride. I'm Samnang Bradley, and this is James. We'll see you next time.